Hello world, and welcome to Cinema Nostalgica, where we break down nostalgic hidden gems. Today we are plugging into what is often called cyberdelic, cyberpunk streetwear, or simply just 90s cyber club fashion, an aesthetic full of a world of metallics, mesh, neon lights, and digitized rebellion. And there's no other lens to explore this than the films that were made during the late 80s to early 2000s. From futuristic fits to the underground club vibes, we'll unravel how these movies have defined, predicted a fashion movement that's still inspiring us today. So let's go. To better understand this cyberpunk type of fashion, it's essential to explore its broader connection to cyberpunk. Cyberpunk fashion emerged in the 1980s as a literary genre that blended high-tech futures with gritty, dystopian urban life. A great example of this is the 1982 film Blade Runner by Ridley Scott. The fashion in Blade Runner is an integral part to the film's iconic aesthetic, merging together dystopian retro-futuristic vibes along with film noir influences. Costume designer Michael Kaplan and conceptual artist Charles Node created a wardrobe that reflected the film's themes of technological advancement, society decay, and blurring the lines between human and artificiality. The fashion in Blade Runner isn't just about style, it's a narrative tool that deepens the world building and defines characters' identities in a society where class, technology, and survival intersect. Looking deeper into the fashion and costume design, and even though it is a film from the 80s, the film has a way of avoiding a dated 80s look and emphasizes on the cycle of nature and fashion. It's very futuristic, as we see with Rachel, with her structured suits, bold shoulders, and meticulous tailoring, which is very reminiscent of 1940s glamour that is seen in film noir films. The main character, Deckard, he has a trench coat which is emblematic of the noir detective archetype that we have also seen in film noir. It serves as both armor against the rain-drenched city, and it is also a symbol of his role as a morally ambiguous protagonist. The clothing seen throughout the film appears worn, patched, or repurposed, reflecting the societal collapse and environmental degradation of the Blade Runner world. This adds a layer of realism and underscores the film's theme of decay and entropy. The replicants, or robots like Pris, who is my favorite character in this film, incorporates a punk-inspired element into her fashion. The replicants reflect rebellion and the idea of artificial beings being able to assert their individuality through fashion is a really interesting concept. Pris has ripped tights and bold makeup, which combine vulnerability with a striking manufactured quality. Materials like plastics, PVC, and metallics that appear subtly in the clothing and accessories also seen throughout the replicants of the film. It hints at the pervasive influence of technology and artificiality. There's also a lot of multicultural elements in Blade Runner. It is set in Los Angeles in 2019, but there's so many Asian-inspired elements. There's a blend of Western tailoring, which creates a hybrid aesthetic which mirrors the city's diverse population. With Blade Runner setting the tone, here we could see a pattern or different elements that break down common threads of the cyberpunk fashion that we will continue to see in films with this particular aesthetic. We have layered clothing, functionality, tech-infused accessories, futuristic dystopian textures and materials such as PVC, leather, plastics, metallics, mesh, and lastly, there is an element of DIY or do-it-yourself when combining all of these elements together. And we will see examples of these particular elements blend together as a common thread which combines the storyline, setting, and the character's individual style as seen in various cyberpunk films. Moving on 2 years later, the book Neuromancer, published in 1984 by William Gibson, envisioned a future where society was dominated by mega corporations, advanced technology, and the disillusioned population, which lives on the fringe of decaying social order. Cyberpunk fashion developed as a visual representation of these themes. As mentioned in Bladeunner, it's usually characterized by its fusion of punk rebellion, futuristic technology, and dystopian aesthetics. While the Neuromancer novel gives us a specific look on dystopian fashion, it's not as heavily detailed compared to the novel's world building and technological themes. Instead, the descriptions of fashion are often brief and impressionistic, focusing on texture, color, and how the clothing interacts with technology or conveys one's status. For example, the central character, Molly Millions, wears a black, tight jumpsuit that underscores her role as a street samurai. Her outfit is sleek, efficient, and functional for combat, embodying her lethal and enigmatic persona. Case, another character in the novel, is described as wearing simple utilitarian clothes. This can be seen as emphasizing the lower status and focuses on survival rather than style. These outfits are described as worn, functional, and reflective of the gritty urban landscape. Fashion described in the Neuromancer novel serves as a visual shorthand of character traits, societal divisions, and blending together the variations of humanity and technology. The gritty, functional clothing of Case and the sleek, combat-ready attire of Molly reflect their role as, again, survivors in the dystopian world. Meanwhile, the suggestions of wealthier, more refined fashion among corporate elites highlights the disparity between those who control technology and those who are controlled by it. Moving along the timeline, let's jump to 1988 and discuss the influence of Japanese anime and cyberpunk fashion as seen in the movie Akira. Japanese anime has been a pivotal force in shaping cyberpunk fashion, creating a unique visual language that has deeply influenced global pop culture. Through its futuristic settings, complex characters, and exploration of technology's impact on society, anime has elevated cyberpunk from a niche genre to a global phenomenon. Films like Akira and Ghost in the Shell, which we will later discuss, are at the forefront of this movement, showcasing that fusion of dystopian storytelling and innovative design that continues to inspire fashion and aesthetics in film and streetwear as well as high fashion today. Akira is a groundbreaking anime that set the visual tone for cyberpunk fashion. It depicted a Neo-Tokyo city which was sprawling, futuristic, yet also decaying, showing a society on the brink of a collapse. The film's emphasis on rebellion and individualism resonates in fashion, inspiring both streetwear and high fashion designers, even by the likes of Kanye West. Kanada's jacket, which is that iconic red moto jacket with the build decal on the back, particularly influenced countless designs and runway collections to cosplay. Set in this Neo-Tokyo landscape, the fashion in Akira becomes a medium to express these themes, which blend together rebellion, futurism, which is much like the anime itself. Jumping ahead a few years, we have Tank Girl, a movie released in 1995, which amplified the punk rebellion with over-the-top Y2K cyberpunk visuals. The Tank Girl character wears a whirlwind of clashing prints, vibrant colors, and again a lot of DIY aesthetics, all underscored by a futuristic edge. Her wardrobe literally feels like it is ripped from a post-apocalyptic rave, which is so central to the character's personality and personal style. This movie is probably one of the best examples of how cyberpunk really involves DIY or personal style. I love the scene when Tank Girl is shown using scissors to cut holes into her tights, as well as the scene when she totally ignores the stylist robot suggestions in the dressing room of the strip club and just puts on whatever she wants. She's rogue and cannot be tamed, and her style choices as a character reflects that. The film's costumes highlight the merging of punk traditions with cyberpunk futurism. Accessories like goggles, metallic fabrics, and oversized boots invoke a world where technology and destruction coexist. Tank Girl's aesthetic celebrates that chaotic individuality, emphasizing again her DIY ethos, which is central to both the punk and the early internet. Next, we have the 1995 cult classic Hackers. Arguably, one of my favorite fashion examples of this cyberpunk aesthetic is Hackers, the film directed by Ian Softly, which is a time capsule of mid-90s techno culture, but its visual styling transcends the period, embodying elements of that cyberpunk aesthetic that we love and continues to influence the modern trends. The film follows a group of teenage computer hackers navigating the world of corporate espionage and cyber warfare. The movie is known for its exaggerated depiction of hacking culture, and the wardrobe choices were meticulously curated to reflect the blend of youth rebellion and underground tech. The wardrobe in Hackers combines elements of counterculture, technology, futurism, and is effectively linked to that cyberpunk genre, which, by definition, explores the intersection of high tech and low life. The setting in Hackers is not dystopian as seen in previous films that we've looked at, but it does have that common thread of a world ruled by corrupt corporations trying to control the masses through technology. Roger K. Burton designed the costumes for the movie, and he is a former mod and independent stylist. Burton also worked on a lot of iconic music videos in the 1980s and 90s, including artists like Duran Duran, David Bowie, and The Clash, so he has a very high reputation. And his deep understanding of subcultures, particularly punk, mod, and new wave, gave him such a unique edge as a costume designer. And when he brought that onto the set of Hackers, Burton applied his knowledge of underground fashion and rebellion and created a wardrobe language of teenage cool and underground streetwear. Burton used cross-cultural references and included elements from different subcultures like sports, such as soccer and hockey jerseys, quicksilver rash guards typically worn only during surfing, and motorcycle jackets, which may be a nod to Akira. And Burton used many vintage pieces from his own collection. And he does have a website, the Contemporary Wardrobe Collection, and if you have time, I definitely recommend checking it out. He also used a lot of utilitarian clothing, like construction orange life vests. The combination of all these different subcultures paired with, let's say, baggy jeans or leather pants and band tees really makes the outfit so edgy and cool, which is reminiscent of the times and also just emphasizes the individual characters, how they are really cool, rebellious, and going against the norm. There are so many outfits that we can discuss in this film, but I really want to take a look at some of the accessories. Notably worn by Kate or Acid Burn, she wears a pager like a wristwatch and a CD-ROM as a belt buckle, fusing together technology used by hackers with creative innovation. And we cannot forget to mention the influence of the New York City club kids or club kids in general, and just the 90s club scene, which was such an inspiration to the fashion that we see in this film. Kate also wears kimonos throughout the film as well, as seen during one of the last scenes and during her meditation. And we're just channeled back to that Bladeunner type aesthetic where anime and Japanese or just Asian culture in general is usually linked with this futuristic cyberpunk aesthetic. And since we're on the topic of anime or anime's influence on fashion, let's look into Mamoru Oshii's Ghost in the Shell, also released in 1995. Ghost in the Shell also reflects that theme of a dystopian world merging together humans and technology and dehumanizing effects of a hyper-technical world. In keeping with the trend, the outfit seen in Ghost in the Shell uses subdued but practical clothing, which emphasizes the character roles and technical advancement as they navigate through the gritty, lived-in environment. Major Motoko Kusanagi wears a lot of similar clothes as seen in the main characters from the movies we previously discussed, like leather pants and motor jackets. But her most iconic outfit isn't clothing at all. It's her thermal optic camouflage bodysuit, designed for invisibility during covert missions. The bodysuit blends seamlessly with her cyberkinetic body, highlighting the fusion of human and machine. Its minimalist design conveys practicality and the utilitarian focus of her existence as a cyborg. The bodysuit's nude, transparent coloration challenges perceptions of identity and humanity, raising questions about where technology ends and the human self begins. Jumping to 1997, we have the movie The Fifth Element. The fashion in The Fifth Element was designed by the iconic couture legend Jean-Paul Gaultier, and his work brought a sense of avant-garde, whimsy, futuristic fantasy, as well as vibrant individuality to the screen. Gaultier merged together high fashion with science fiction and created a vision of a future that is both extravagant and grounded in the character storytelling. Gaultier used unconventional materials, wild silhouettes, and bold color schemes to create a surreal and otherworldly look. The fashion feels extravagant and daring and reflects on a universe where style has become a form of self-expression. Notably, what I really like about Gaultier's designs is many of them are prominent in being androgynous and gender fluid. Let's take the flamboyant wardrobe of Rudy Rod, for example. Played by Chris Tucker, Rudy Rod's character embodies that radical blend of femininity and masculinity, wearing skin-tight leopard print, floral patterns, and flamboyant hairstyles. Gaultier designed these outfits that challenged conventional gender roles, emphasizing on that fluidity and freedom, and the idea that fashion in the future can be liberated beyond binary expectations. Leeloo Dallas is shown actually picking out her outfit from a pile of clothes that was given to her, and she decided to go with a white crop top, gold leggings, orange suspenders, and combat boots. Her style is sexy and loud, but also very colorful and functional. And pairing with the functionality theme that is often seen in the cyberpunk fashion aesthetic, we have Corbin Dallas, who is seen wearing cargo pants and a vest with a lot of pockets, a military-inspired look. The diva Plava Laguna, the alien opera singer, wears an elaborate draping blue outfit that looks almost organic in form. Seeming to be an extension of her own body, her outfit accentuates her otherworldly beauty, and her costume features flowing shapes that make her appear ethereal, extending into the film's futuristic fantasy theme. And then we have Zorg. Zorg wears tailored suits made from unconventional fabrics of bold colors. His outfits are asymmetric and has these eccentric details of unusual accessories, like his translucent headpiece. His costumes reflect his status as a wealthy yet unhinged villain, blending sophistication with chaos. And the last but certainly not least movie we will discuss is one of the most notable films to embody and define the cyberpunk fashion aesthetic, which combines elements from all the other costume designs and themes we previously mentioned, The Matrix, which was released in 1999. When The Matrix premiered, it became an instant cultural phenomenon, redefining the boundaries of science fiction, philosophy, and fashion. The film's aesthetic is so rooted in cyberpunk, but it's also infused with the sleekness of Y2K futurism, known as Y2K Soft Club, and it has been instantly iconic. The wardrobe blends minimalism, futurism, subversive clubwear, and creates a visual language that reflects the film's themes of freedom, rebellion, and digital reality. The costumes in The Matrix were designed by Kim Barrett, whose visionary work became a defining element of the film. Her designs for the 1999 cyberpunk classic helped revolutionize how fashion could interact with a narrative in a sci-fi cinema, blending together that sleek futurism with physiological depth. Barrett's choices were informed by her eclectic background and had a deep understanding of subcultures, a desire to visually articulate the dichotomy between reality and the simulated world of the Matrix. The iconic black trench coats, the form-fitting leather outfits, mirror-like glasses, they're not just fashion choices, but they symbolize the characters' rejection of societal constraint and embrace their digital identities. The use of black as the dominant color reflects that cyberpunk ethos of rebellion and secrecy, and it also ties it in all together with that minimalism of Y2K fashion. By using that high gloss material like glossy leather and latex, the costumes invoke a sense of technological sophistication, suggesting a world where humans and machines blur together. Let's take Trinity's leather bodysuit for instance. It's practical for action and reminiscent of the hypersexualized silhouettes that were popular in the time. I'm also really reminded of the bodysuit as seen in Ghost in the Shell. Trinity's short, angular, yet sleek haircut also just amplifies this futuristic vibe. And the underground world of Zion is totally subversive, as everyone is wearing earth tone colors, natural fabrics, or just recycled goods that are used to create an outfit which is edgy yet functional. All of the costumes seen in The Matrix and its trilogies are hyper-stylized. It symbolizes the freedom and self-expression in a constructed reality. But it also has hints of glamour and that mystery of film noir, as we had seen in Bladeunner. These elements give the protagonists a larger-than-life quality and position them as enigmatic figures in their battle against the system. To recap, the world of cyberpunk as seen through films during the late 80s to early 2000s is one when the future is unknown. Sure, it's technically advanced, but to what cost? The outfits tell a story of the times which holds chaos and promise to only those who are in high places. Yet there is always the rebellious group, the ones who are ready to fight against Big Brother, and these main characters set the tone for what is trending, what is cool, and more important, what is central to their purpose, which is obviously expressed by the garments they wear. Whether it is the use of functional layered clothing, sleek textiles, tech-infused accessories, that is all put together in a nonchalant do-it-yourself manner, these clothes and styles made an impact not only to the storytelling of the films, but transcended into the world of the viewer. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, especially if you like videos which discuss nostalgic hidden gems. Please write in the comments who your favorite cyberpunk character is or your favorite outfit, and I will see you in the next one.